Former Miss South Africa finalist and Miss Universe Nigeria, Chidimma Adetshina, is continuing her fight to stay in the country. Adetshina appeared in the Cape Town Regional Court today after her arrest for entering the country illegally. Adetshina first made headlines when she was forced to withdraw from the Miss South Africa pageant in 2024. Home Affairs later alleged that her mother had committed identity theft to gain South African citizenship. Adetshina was declared a banned person, but she entered the country through the Bombo border post, and she was arrested in June after she was traced to the mother city. The beauty queen has now submitted an affidavit to the court outlining the steps that she is taking to legalize her stay in the country. The prosecution is expected to submit a replying affidavit before the case resumes on Monday.
Former Miss South Africa finalist and Miss Universe Nigeria, Chidimma Adetshina, is continuing her fight to stay in the country. Adetshina appeared in the Cape Town Regional Court today after her arrest for entering the country illegally. Crowds of South Africans gathered outside the Cape Town court as they waited for the proceedings involving Chidimma Adetshina. When she left the courthouse, emotions ran high. Some members of the crowd shouted at her, chanting, "Go home! Nigeria is your home!" while expressing their frustration over the ongoing controversy surrounding her identity and citizenship.
Goduka, Chidimma, Goduka. Goduka. Go home. Nigeria is your home. Nigeria is your home.
Identity thief, we won't accept you in South Africa.
Go home.
Those identities you stole. Hamba Goduka.
Several protesters accused Adetshina of being an identity thief and said they did not want her to remain in South Africa. The tense scenes highlighted just how deeply divided public opinion has become. Outside the courtroom, the atmosphere was charged with anger, with many demonstrators insisting that they would not accept her in the country. Several protesters accused Adetshina of having a South African identity document. The emotional reactions underscored the intensity of the debate that continues to surround one of South Africa's most talked about legal cases. Born in Soweto, South Africa, in 2001 to a Nigerian father of Igbo heritage and a mother of Mozambican descent, Chidimma Vanessa Adetshina grew up considering South Africa her only home. In early 2024, as a 23-year-old law student, she entered the prestigious Miss South Africa pageant. Under mounting public pressure, the Miss South Africa organizers, with consent from Chidimma's family, requested the South African Department of Home Affairs to verify her citizenship. What the preliminary investigation uncovered sent shockwaves through both South Africa and Nigeria. Home Affairs announced that prima facie evidence indicated fraud and identity theft had been committed in 2001 by the person registered as Chidimma's mother. But the official statement contained a devastating human detail. An innocent South African mother had her identity stolen back in 2001. Because her identity was fraudulently compromised in the government database, this real South African woman suffered for over 2 decades, unable to register her own biological child's birth with the state. The department was quick to emphasize one crucial fact. Chidimma herself was an infant in 2001. She played no part in her mother's alleged actions. Yet, legally and culturally, her entire world was built on a foundation that the state was now moving to tear down. To understand why Chidimma is facing deportation, we have to look at the legal framework. In South Africa, citizenship by birth is largely derivative. If a parent obtains status through fraud, any citizenship derived by the child becomes legally voidable. In September 2024, the Department of Home Affairs formally issued a notice informing Chidimma and her mother that it intended to cancel their South African identity documents. Under standard procedure, they were granted a 30-day window to submit written representations showing cause why their documents should not be revoked. So why didn't Chidimma complete and submit the 30-day response form? According to state prosecutors, she failed to respond to the administrative deadline, choosing instead to secure a Nigerian passport and travel to Nigeria, where she was invited to compete in Miss Universe Nigeria. She went on to win the Nigerian crown and reached international acclaim as first runner-up at Miss Universe in Mexico. But her legal team presents a very different perspective. They argue she was a young woman undergoing severe emotional trauma, public harassment, and burnout. Legally, her defense maintains that the Department of Home Affairs failed to conduct a fair administrative process before invalidating her status. Rather than engaging in what they considered a predetermined administrative process, her team challenged the root decision in the High Court, asserting that she was born on South African soil and knows no other home. Having been officially declared a prohibited person by South African authorities after her documents were cancelled, Chidimma's legal standing worsened when she re-entered South Africa. State immigration officers alleged that she obtained a tourist visa using questionable financial documentation and re-entered through the Lubombo border post. June 2026, immigration officials tracked her down in Cape Town and arrested her alongside her minor child. The Department of Home Affairs pressed for her immediate detention and deportation under the Immigration Act, labeling her an illegal foreigner. Inside the Cape Town Regional Court, a fierce legal deadlock unfolded. The prosecution's argument: she intentionally bypassed immigration laws, ignored official administrative notices, and remained unlawfully in the country. The defense's argument: she is not a flight risk. She has spent her life in South Africa. Her primary citizenship challenge is still pending review in the High Court, and detaining a young mother violates constitutional principles. They propose she report to an immigration officer every 2 weeks instead of being locked up. Beyond the courtroom, this case has exposed a profound rift in African public opinion. To many South Africans, this is strictly about the rule of law. They point out that identity theft is a serious crime that robs legitimate citizens of their basic rights, as happened to the victim whose life was disrupted for 23 years. For them, allowing exceptions undermines national security and the integrity of the state. To many Nigerians and members of the broader African diaspora, Chidimma is seen as a victim of systemized anti-immigrant sentiment. They highlight that she was an innocent child when her mother registered her. Punishing a young woman for actions taken over 2 decades ago when she was an infant feels to them like political scapegoating. As the court proceedings drag on, Chidimma Adetshina stands in legal limbo. Her story serves as a cautionary tale of how administrative history, national borders, and personal identity can collide in the spotlight. Is she a victim of circumstances far beyond her control, or is the state justified in upholding the strict letter of immigration law? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for further updates on this story.